Good evening. I'm truly humbled to be standing here tonight as an honoree of the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County, such a tremendous organization. I haven't spoken to an audience of this size since I was color ward chief at Camp Equinox back in 1988. And I'm just as nervous now as I was back then, although I am dressed a little bit better. Let me start by thanking Howard Mayer. Howard is our past chairman, as you know, and my mentor at the center. I also like to thank our current chairman, Steve Markowitz, our fellow board members, and the center's wonderful staff. Speaking of mentors, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my colleague, Tom Vinci. Tom, for years, has given me guidance and sage advice. He has always supported my charitable endeavors, and because of Tom and our firm, Stewart Title, I've been able to give him my time and resources to the center. And for this, I'm very grateful. Thank you, Tom. And of course, a special thank you to my wife, Susan, who is simply amazing, yes. In the sheer volume she takes on every day, both professionally and at home, and has the patience to deal with me. In our busy lives, I don't tell her enough how much she means to me and how much I love her and how lucky I am to have her in my life. Thank you, Susan. Susan's here with my children tonight. Catherine Grace, who's my angel, Luke, my little man, and our oldest son, Sam, who last year made us very proud for being an upstander in support of a classmate. I love you all very much. I'm also grateful to have my siblings in my life, Mary Ellen, Joseph, and James, as well as my many friends and clients who have stood by me not only tonight, but for many, many years. I consider myself blessed to have such a strong circle of support on a daily basis, a foundation that makes the journey of life fun and rewarding. Thank you. When Howard asked me to join the board, I immediately thought of my parents. My mother, who is with us here tonight and holds the title of Grandma Mary, was a lifelong volunteer. I can remember joining her on countless trips to drop off clothes and food to the needy in our community, and always doing it quietly with grace and dignity. And I thought about my father. See, my father served in World War II. He enlisted in the Army right after the attacks of Pearl Harbor at the age of 18 and was shipped off to Europe. There, he met a Jewish soldier in his unit named Alan Sarafkan. They immediately hit it off and survived the entire war, in part by looking after each other. And they were together in the end in 1945 when their unit walked the grounds of Auschwitz, just weeks after it was liberated. They stayed dear friends after the war and were able to enjoy the better moments of life, their children's baptisms, bat mitzvahs, and especially their daughters' weddings. And Alan was at my father's side for his last days when he lost his battle to cancer. For my father, the experience of the war forever shaped his lessons on humanity. One lesson was simply that people do not have to be from the same religion or background as you to become loyal and dear friends, as Alan was to my father. The second lesson was that the Holocaust did happen. I can recall, like it was yesterday, sitting down with my father when I was in junior high, That's middle school for everyone under 40. I remember my father and I weren't particularly close, and this was a very poignant moment, sitting down at the dining room table with his very focused eyes and telling me that the Holocaust happened in a very civilized society, one that gave us great science, art, and music, also gave us this atrocity. I remember it really like it was yesterday. It was an amazing moment. He had photos that he pulled out from a drawer, photos of his fellow men, and photos of Auschwitz. It was a very powerful history just sitting on our dining room table. And he wanted me to remember not to work hard, not to let it happen again. Also, when I was asked to be an honoree tonight, I thought of the message of tolerance. It's such a powerful concept. In my opinion, it's a fundamentally American concept, a cornerstone of our American values, that no one who lives here in peace should have to live in fear because of who they are. And it breaks my heart to hear about children today living in fear and anxiety about being bullied. It's our responsibility as adults to teach the lesson of tolerance in words and in deeds. Because our children learn from what they see. And a simple act of kindness can speak volumes. It can spark a conversation, and it can plant a seed. And at the center, it's our mission to teach this core principle of tolerance. I believe the center acts as a beacon. It's a valuable resource for schools, community organizations, and houses of worship can turn to, because its collective intelligence and years of experience can help fight to keep prejudice at bay. So I ask everyone to take time to visit the center. And if your children's schools have not been exposed to the workshops, please put them in touch. We all need help in spreading the center's message. This is why I am proud to support the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center, and proud to accept this honor tonight. Thank you. Good night.